In this video, I'm going to break down how I built a 3.5k MRR software. I appreciate that might not sound like a lot of money, but I've hardly even done anything yet. I'm not a coder, I'm not a software expert, I run an agency, I'm very, very busy with my current clients, but I built this on the side pretty much whenever I finished working in the agency at 6 o'clock at night. I would then work from 6 till 9 on building this SaaS platform, software as a service. So I'm going to break down the thinking from 8 months ago when I first came up with this idea, all the way through to where we're at right now and what my plans are to scale this thing to 20, 30, 40, 50k in MRR. Let's get stuck in. So what you can see here is the diagram. This is Fitness Ads AI. This is the SaaS platform. This is the product. You can see the website here, fitnessads.ai. Your next 100 fitness leads for the price of a Monster and a protein bar. That's the big headline right now we're testing. Coming down here, Fitness Ads AI builds complete ad campaigns in 90 seconds. Trained on 100k worth of real fitness ad spend. Tell us your business, your offer, and your city, and we will handle the rest. Now, this isn't a video promoting Fitness Ads AI. Instead, it's about me building it. Maybe it'll inspire you to build something or improve something that you've got right now. But you can see the website. We have built out all these campaigns. There's visuals, there's results that we've gotten our clients over the years, all the way down. You can go and have a look at Fitness Ads AI. The link is in the description. So let's come back to the build here. How did I actually build this thing? Well, I had no funding, no co-founder, and I didn't know how to use code. Obviously I use Claude Code now, which is great. But before I go into this, I did have a developer who done a half decent job to get us to this point. This isn't some lovable wrapper, by the way. This is properly built out by a developer who done an okay job, and then I got another developer in who done a great job, and they kind of got it to 80% where we wanted to get to. And then after loads of iterations, I kind of took over using Claude Code. I learned a good bit about that and was able to make not massive changes, but definitely changes that I could see in the front end, like cosmetic changes we'll call it. But since then I've spent a lot of hours using it and doing it, to the point I have now got the Claude Code Max subscription. But to be honest with you, after using developers and stuff, I'm at a good place where I can do that now. So how did it happen? Well, we looked at the failure of fitness businesses running ad campaigns. We looked at the research, we looked at building it out, we looked at the pivot, and we'll look at scaling. So I've not raised any money to grow this. It's all coming out of my back pocket. We have been building it. I say I've been building it for the last 8 months. So 8 months from idea to recurring revenue. So let's look at the failure loop. So just like any service software, you have to look at what problem you're actually solving. So for me, there's a massive failure loop. 2 problems. Fitness businesses typically don't last past 3 years. So personal trainers, I think it's 90% of them aren't personal training after the 3-year mark. Some aren't even getting that far anymore. And with the rise in AI, skinny jabs, Manjaro, all these types of things, it's getting harder and harder to become a fitness coach and stay in the game. Getting very, very competitive. Thankfully now it seems to be resetting a little bit post-COVID, where all the kind of influencer style coaches are maybe leaving the industry. But now we're in a position where it's still difficult for personal trainers, fitness business owners to grow their business. If you're a brick and mortar in-person fitness business, then you'll know that rates are higher, expenses are higher, cost of regular water, electricity is all through the roof. So it's getting just harder in general to run a business, let alone a fitness business. And that, coupled with the fact that you can just join and be a personal trainer in a 6-week course, the barrier of entry is really low. It's almost like a recipe for disaster, to be honest. So how do we fix that? Well, when I spoke to other software companies like training apps and stuff that have the same target market as mine, the biggest reason that they lose clients or they churn is because they go out of business. They can no longer get clients. So there's one big problem that we have to solve, which is getting leads, getting sales, because that fixes businesses going out of business. Because if you can get recurring business, then you're going to be okay to reinvest and learn and continue to push on. So speaking in this failure loop example here I'm giving, really I'm speaking about what happens when fitness business owners go and run paid advertising, which is by far the strongest way to grow your business, especially now in a heavy dopamine algorithm world, okay? So here's what I saw with running ads for fitness coaches. They run ads, they set them up, they're hopeful, they're excited. They don't get any leads within 40 hours, or the leads aren't great. Panic sets in, they're like, oh my God, I just got a bill through from Meta and I'm paying money and I'm not getting any leads. This is a disaster. Despite the fact that if you post organic content for years and months and hardly get any leads, you don't stress out, even though you might not be paying money for these leads. or lack of leads, you're paying with your time, which is just as valuable. So panic sets in, this isn't working. What then happens is these business owners turn the ads off and they kill the ads before it's got a chance. They blame the platform, they maybe say that ads don't work, and then they restart 6 weeks later, same result. And of course, what happens here is it just repeats forever. Now, all of this sounds great, but there's actually a bit before the failure loop. The part is that most fitness business owners don't even run ads because it's too hard to learn how to run ads. I don't know if you've ever logged into Meta Ads Manager, but the dashboard is ridiculous. There's errors everywhere. They change everything. For being a multi-billion pound company, Meta's interface for running ads is absolutely shocking. They don't care. They still make the money. And so we have this failure loop here where running ads is as much about your mindset and your focus around the bigger picture than it is having the money to do so. And then you need the skill. So you hire an agency like mine, where we're pretty expensive to run your ads for you, but there's still a learning curve. You have to understand what dealing with, warm traffic's like, cold traffic, how to speak to these people, how to get them on, how to create a great offer that people say yes to. So we come in here, I looked at all the ad accounts that we have run for Fitness Business Series and done a bit of an audit on it. The average gym owner runs the same campaign 3 to 4 times before giving up entirely. They typically boost posts on Instagram or whatever, or they'll fling up the same ad every season, so maybe for summer, Christmas, back to school, whatever it is. And 72% quit within 14 days. The ads were working, the owners weren't waiting. So the problem was never the ads, but the problem is there's been no system that's existed for fitness. Now, when I was doing my research here to build Fitness Ads AI, I signed up to a whole bunch of alternative platforms for fitness business owners to run ads, and they were shocking, like absolutely shocking. Most businesses still think that fitness advertising is a girl standing there in some lycra and doing a star jump. Like, they don't understand, not only do they not understand seasonality of fitness, they don't understand psychology of fitness marketing and fitness advertising. And so that's when I knew this is a great idea here. So here's the cost of doing nothing for the particular business owner. Problem, no fitness specific ad tool, so there's none. I signed up to all the big ad tools. There was 0 in the market. The consequence, every gym uses generic e-commerce style software in ads. So like you think of like adcreative.ai. When you go on there and try and run a fitness ad, it is quite literally like the stock images from Canva, and you cannot put your brand next to that. Okay, so panic kills the campaigns, so 48 hours to panic. So whenever a fitness business owner turns ads on, there's this 48-hour window of like panic and, oh my God, the leads are terrible, or we haven't got any leads, turn it off, this isn't working. So the business owner kills the ads before the algorithm even learns what to do. Agencies are expensive. Not everyone can afford an agency, especially those who have just qualified as a PT, fitness business owner. So you're looking at between 1K to 3K a month for really good agencies. Anything below that, you'll just get copy and paste agencies. So the consequence, results a tool could deliver in 90 seconds. With the rise of AI here now, not everybody needs to work with an agency like mine. Maybe you just need your next 100 leads to convert 20, 30 of them, and that's going to take you to the next level of business. Then you can regroup, sort your fulfillment, start maybe hiring a team member or 2, and so on. Identity, buying ignored, so every tool misses it. So like buyers buy a version of themselves, not a service. So if we know that these ad tools that fitness business owners could use and sign up to that are generic, not only do they not talk about properly fitness marketing strategies, but they certainly do not talk about outcomes of their service. So every tool misses that. There's no identity tied to these tools. They're all very like Shopify e-commerce based, where it's like product based. Whereas if you've been running fitness marketing campaigns, not so much paid ads, you will know that people buy from the identity they want to become, the outcomes, the results, the transformation that can happen in a fitness process. And then the seasonal patterns unknown. So this is crucial. Like, this is one of our best tools in the MRR agency when we're running ads for fitness businesses. Like, the seasonal campaigns are some of the strongest that we run. And we run 12 of them in a year. I showed you them here. This is the campaigns here. So every major campaign we plug in and build for our clients. January, New Year Kickstart, February, March, April, May, June, all the way through. All these, this is the biggest spikes that fitness business owners see in marketing. So you have to take advantage of them. None of these other ad tools know about that. So same campaigns that run year round. So here's what I fed the AI. Here's where it gets exciting. And here's what makes us different. So I spent 2 months not building, just inputting data to this platform. So this was campaign patterns, this was buyer psychology, this was failure mode. So like what would happen if a personal trainer at 9:30 at night on a Tuesday after doing 12 sessions tried to run an ad and was knackered and had ADHD? How would we get their ad live? What would they see? How can we strip back the noise? Winning structures, the structures that work depending on the type of fitness business. Seasonal data, like I said, and local triggers, that's an important one as well. Like running an ad in Glasgow might not be the same as running an ad in New York or somewhere in Europe. Like everywhere's different. There's little nuances that comes with the local triggers. And so once we got all of that, we went to Claude, and I'm going to show you the software stack in a minute, but GitHub, MongoDB, all of that stuff, we fed it all back in. Plus 10 years of running a fitness business. I've been running a fitness business for 10 years. Personal trainer, gym owner, online coach, mentorship, and now agency. So I've went back and searched everything now. Not everything still works that used to work, but we have been running through all these campaigns. Our media buyers, ads managers have got a lot of experience as well combined. So it's like we're talking like 33 years or something like that of fitness advertising combined into this. So it's not your average AI content. Like this is the part I was the most passionate about, is I didn't want any outputs to feel like ChatGPT or Claude. Like I wanted it to feel like, wow, okay, this has been written in my tone and my voice. So we have a pretty extensive onboarding process for people who sign up to Fitness Ads AI. They have to give us their brand tone, their brand voice, what they don't want in their market and what they do want in their marketing. All this stuff that just, we make it, all of them, that's why there's a unicorn in it. All of them, meta ads policies, and all of our best practices. You put that together, you've got a chance to get your 100 leads quicker on this than your any other strategy out there. So moving back onto here, we have, so it's AI trained on a decade of specialist data, produces something totally different than a ChatGPT, custom GPT, Claude project or whatever could train. 10 years, and we are running thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of pounds every single month for our clients right now. Whenever we find a winner, we feed it back into Fitness Ads AI, and that just gets better and better and better with time. So here's the build. We 0 line of code written. We identify the problem. Now, just like any business, this is the number one thing. It doesn't matter about features. It's like we identify the problem that the market faces, which is fitness business owners are going out of business rapidly, and it's getting harder and harder to differentiate themselves, and it's getting harder and harder to stand out online. So we identify that problem. We write the prompt, so specific, detailed, include the why, not just the what. The better the brief, the better the code. So we spent so much time just perfecting these prompts so that the output to the client and the customer is unique. And then we test it like a user, so not a developer, a gym owner. Would they understand? Would they trust it? So this is where I come in, because I owned a gym. Sean, who works in the team, he still runs a gym. So we test it like a user. We keep feeding it in and going, and sometimes you get caught up in the features and what you could build, but really it's like, how do we get this to work for gym owners, fitness coaches who are busy and they just need leads? Iterate fast. So is it the wrong direction? Back up a bit. The build improved when I got comfortable reversing things. So I have got carried away at spells of this, and then if I had to pull myself back in, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to build this, and honestly I held back launching it for so long, because in my mind it was like, if I launch this, it just feels so basic. And the best individual SaaS tools are, you look at ManyChat, all it did at the start was just send a link in your DMs for you. Now it's kind of going, oh, do you follow me? Let's scrape your email as well. But it's still a relatively simple tool, isn't it? They don't try and create content for you or anything like that. So yeah, we use AWS, MongoDB, Node Express. This might not mean anything to people, but for those who are maybe looking at it and going, what does he use? There you go. Doesn't mean too much to me. I just speak to AWS and the servers. So I know precisely what needs to do. That was enough. So this part's crucial, right? Because I'm not a software developer, far from it, but I know the problem it had to solve. I felt the problem. I lived the problem day to day for my clients. So that was enough. Once the problem I found, to be honest with you, was like articulating the day-to-day problems and the problem this was solving, and taking it to developers for them to understand, because they're very transactional, very black and white. And so I had to make sure, I had to communicate that over, and there was a lot of friction, to be honest. It took a lot of time, which is probably why they never built this. Another insight into this as well is the biggest problem when it comes to running ads is fitness business owners trying to use meta ads. It's ridiculously difficult. So I made it so that they never have to go in there. There's a one-click campaign button where you just launch it inside Fitness Ads AI. You never have to go to Meta Ads Manager, which I'm pretty proud of. But I also realised that's why no one's built this tool before. Big turning points. So we took it from a copy tool to a campaign engine. So it wasn't just, hey, here's a script that you can use. It was hooks, angles, headlines, targeting, call to actions, video scripts. We've now got our own graphics that you can make inside it and publish it straight to Meta. This one I'm really proud of. We added behavior psychology layer. So this really is like the little guide for the fitness business owner, because like I say, the first 7 days are crucial for running an ad. There's a lot of like doubt that creeps in, a lot of uncertainty. You see money coming out your bank. So I've got a little guide that takes you through. It's a campaign companion that keeps you going with your campaign when you launch your first one. It's like, look, here's what you're looking at. Here's your cost per lead. Don't stress. We're looking for some more data. And it guides the user through it. I wanted the user to feel like I'm right there with them, running their ads with them. So it coaches patience as well as generating the ads. We've priced it at £7 for 7 days right now until we put it up. It's £99 a month. Cancel anytime, which is a little bit counterintuitive, but it removes the barrier. I want people in there using it and getting results. We're testing real campaigns before the price increases, so active users, and we've got a lot of case studies building up. We shifted to B2B partnerships, so one partnership deal is worth more than months of individual retail subscriptions. We're currently talking to exercise.com and Macroactive to see if we're going to move forward with those guys and look at installing it for their customers. So overall, the return here, what 3.5k month looks like, it's not so much 12 months, but where we're headed, it will go that way. So not 200 users at £7 a month, that needs fixed. But yeah, 3.5k a month, 72% retention after 30 days, zero ad spend yet, so we've still not turned on ads, zero partnerships yet, obviously conversations active. 90 seconds you can generate your first campaign after you've done your onboarding. So projected state, we want to get to 20k MRR by like late summer, would be great. B2B revenue, who knows, we'll see what happens. White label, so we're licensing it to platforms. So for example, a training software who wants to add this in to their software to solve the problem of getting leads for their clients, because they might be great at delivering their service, but if they've not got anybody to deliver to, then they're going to go out of business. Case studies are coming, even more so. Acquisition, so position it as an exit, and adjacent vehicles expansion, so we can look at running this for real estate and all these other types of things as well. So big lessons to finish. Expertise is the moat. Please remember this. AI is the distribution. Your knowledge is the product. My knowledge is the product. My team's knowledge, my data that I've got. Expertise is the moat. Start narrow. So being the only ad tool for fitness over the thousands of general tools that you get out there, we are the only ad tool for fitness directly. Research is the product. So 2-month input phase wasn't prep. It was the build. Building the exit from day one. I've been building this whole thing to exit from day one, making sure all the metrics are there, every single thing that if an investor came tomorrow, I'd be able to show them all the numbers and show the track, the roadmap that we're on. So I'm building it to exit from day one. Thinking systems, not code, so precise thinking beats technical knowledge. The uncomfortable truth here, the AI didn't build fitness ads, 10 years of fitness ads did. 10 years of me running a business did. So to close this out, the roadmap, feed AI a decade of fitness ad data, build campaign generation engine, 200 users, not at £7 a month. I used AI to make this full visual board, which is cool. I gave that away on Instagram how to do this. One typo there, which is we'll let them away with it. Prove the product works. Phase 2 partnerships, there's no denying that the best way for me to really take this to the next level, get it to 20k, 30k, 50k MRR, is a partnership. I'm not partnered with anybody yet, but we'll see who comes through, and potentially we could do just one partnership and that'd be enough. That way they get exclusivity. And then phase 3 is scale. So price increase with case studies, expand to adjacent verticals, white label, acquisition, positioning. And so that is essentially it. Quite a lot to cover there. What I didn't want to do with this video is try and sell Fitness Ads AI. I'm trying to look at you as the business owner to understand how I've came about and built this. Again, I'm building this on the side of running my agency. We are looking to take this to the next level and really stand out and allow for maybe a massive company, software company, to come in and say, yeah, we need that problem solved. But right now, I care about the personal trainers, the fitness business owners on the ground who need clients, need leads. And personally, this is the fastest way to do it for as cheap as I can possibly let it. So hope you find that useful. I'll see you in the next video.